I know I'm a little late for this month's collection video, but I've just had some stuff kind of moving through the collection in the last week, and I don't know, I haven't really found the time to do it. These take a minute, so I seem to do them a little different every time. I already got everything laid out kind of in, well, by category of type of fidget, and everything's out of the case. I am not going to include my wife's case this time, or my secondary case that has the tops and mostly gifted fidgets in it, things that I would not purchase for my own collection pretty much under no circumstance. They're just special, so those aren't featured. If you want to see that stuff, it's in older collection videos. I even made a playlist for collection videos. So yeah, this one I think we're gonna do the Dumas system. So that's row 1 is if you could only have one of any category, and it's a given that if you lose it, I'm gonna try to replace it immediately. Like, just I would lose sleep over not having it. Row 2 is gonna be the stuff that I really love, that I like it, that I also would, I would lose sleep over it, but maybe I can nitpick about something. There's just one little thing on it, maybe a hot spot or something like that, that just makes it, not the only one of a category, but still really, really good. On the third row is going to be stuff that, back on row 2, if I lost it, I would also try to replace it exactly as it was, exactly as I paid. Row 3 is going to be the stuff that I like. I probably pick it up, at least once a day out of the case, but doesn't necessarily mean I EDC it in the fanny pack. Also, row 1 and 2 are things that I EDC for sure. And then row 3, if I were to buy the things in row 3 again, that's going to be things that it would need to either be a good deal, a bargain, get it really good on trade, or I would want to buy it again in a different material. I'm sitting here fidgeting with Scepter 35. I haven't decided what I want to do with this thing yet. I haven't had a scepter in my collection. Well, it's only been a little while. Sold my one that I kept for over a year to a friend. And yeah, I've always wanted a full Makume scepter. Okay, on to collection video. So let's start at row 1. If I could only have one of any category, I've already got everything kind of laid out here, right? I should say these two, Tungsten Edamame and Mini Mame from LIC EDC. These are here on loan, so I could check them out. But man, I want this. So these are going to be kind of wild cards in this video. I'm not sure where I'm going to put them. I'll maybe just theoretically talk about where they go. And yeah. Oh, and I've got a coin spinning right now. I'm going to keep that going the whole video, but it might not show. Oh, and I just killed it into spin. It was just done. Cool. Alright, so if I can only have one of each category, and really, if I can only have one fidget, it's going to be this wrap right here. If you know the channel, you know me, you know that. This one's customized. It's personalized too. Makume inlay, zirconium body, stainless plates. The wrapped is the best trackless slider that there is. These plates are the best. I'm done arguing about it. It's just, it is fact. If you don't like how they look, that's your own problem. You're missing out on the best slider that there is. I think the stainless ones, just the standard stainless steel, they start at like, I think it's $230 or something. It looks like this, but it's all silver, has the same circular pattern. You have the same plates. The plates are the magic. So, you can be vain and chase, a really pretty outside body, if you want to get your favorite metals, but if you're just trying to get a trackless slider, I've got a couple others here, the wrapped is the absolute best. It just is. I don't know how to put it any more simple. If you're sitting there on the fence trying to decide between all the other name brands or cheaper ones or anything, like, the wrapped is the slider to buy. It's the plates. They're concave in the middle. Every way you look at it, they only touch on the 4 corners. You look at my wear patterns, you can see the highest wear points are on the corners. still slides like butter. Been using this thing every day since November of 22. Tons of use. I absolutely I mean, it's the best. It's the best thing in my collection. So really, if I can only have one thing, period, even over spinners, it would be this. Spinners are my favorite. Fidget. Like, but bearings drive me fucking nuts. They're never consistent enough. These steel plates, they never let down. They don't get dirty or gritty. You don't have to swap them out and stress about getting a good one or a bad one. It just is. It just wins. That's it. Okay. On to, let's see. Next thing for row 1. We'll go to mechanical slider. Still the 1 PAL for me. There's a couple floating around out there in the world that I haven't tried yet that I definitely have my eye on. So we'll just have to see. It's my thumb a little dirty. Oh well. Yeah, the 1 PAL is really good. It's pretty smooth. I've got one of the good ones. There's been some batches where people's plates were contacting just whenever you press in the middle and slide it. Mine only contact whenever you press pretty hard on the edges. I mean, you just don't use it that way, so it's not an issue. The clicks are really nice. It's really smooth. I really like the shape and how it feels in hand. It's definitely a bit of a worry stone. Yeah, the 1 PAL is the one mechanical slider that I would still own if I could only pick one, for sure. I mean, it's great. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It's really simple. You have 4 clicks each way from neutral, like the standard position. I think it would be cool if they came out with a different track design that maybe, I don't know, we had like a 33% or even a doubling of the amount of detents. I think that would be pretty cool. Like to maybe get 12 or even 16 total clicks. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. My math was off. Y'all can laugh at me. The 1 PAL's great. It's really, really good. I would recommend it. Haptic coins. Mechanical haptic coins. Metal Toys DZ Top C. This was my number 1 if I could only have them for one, top row. But Makume is the only thing to push it down out of that spot. It's absolutely top tier. I like that it's a little heavier. And I mean, they feel really similar. Not even sound very close to the same on video. I got the Makume one set up to be a little more bumpy feeling. And this one feels a little more zipper feeling. They both have ZZ plates and ceramic balls and all the good stuffs. This one's just a little more, and the Makume is prettier. It's incredible. Moving right on along. I don't know how to classify this thing. It's a mechanical fidget. Like, there's no magnets. And it's just a little clicky thing. I don't know how to classify it, so it's also, I mean, this is a row 1 for me. I EDC it exclusively, not even with a slip. I just throw it in the pouch because there's nothing to mess up. Like, there's no magnets to collect ferrous stuff. There's no structure to get, like, dirty or whatever. It just clicks, man. Lottie Puffer Crash. Don't pay $300 for one unless you just got money to burn, because I don't think it's that good. But I mean, I paid $180 for this whenever retail was $125, and I would do that again. Like, no questions asked. I need this fidget in my life. I need these circles. I need these pressure points on my skin. Feels great. I'm gonna clean. Actually, this is copper from the edamame earlier. I'm not worried about that. It's just, I've washed off, I've rubbed off my acid etching from these buttons that I made because I'm using it so much. I've never done that to copper before. It's insane. Okay, thinking through here. So I'm over magnetic haptic coins, but I really think this one is just lovely because it's Makume. It's the B-hole. It does look like a butthole a little bit, but aesthetically, I really like how this looks and feels in hand. I use it like this if I ever use it now. It's not something I really EDC, and I don't pick it up out of here very much, so I can't say it's like the only one I would own out of the category. We're gonna leave it down here for now. It's probably gonna end up being a row 3 item. Okay, so if I can only have one bar spinner, that's an easy choice for me. The copper fuse. This will be replaced by a tungsten fuse one day. I can already tell you that. If it ever happens, when it happens. The fuse is incredible. Ergonomics are perfect for my hand. The copper one is just heavy enough, or just heavier than the stainless or the bronze, that I just absolutely love it. It's great. This one is also number 69. I sought it out specifically on the secondary market. Show that off a little bit. A little engraving right there. I've got a Fushi full stainless steel bearing in there, so it's pretty quiet. Has just a slight metallic tone to it. Man, it's just great. And it's also just a little imbalanced, which makes me like it even more. For whatever strange reason. The Fuse by Spin Designs by Cami. It's great. It's seriously so great. So is the Flux, but I still don't have wide buttons yet, so that's not a fully developed opinion on the Flux yet. With the balls. I really like it with the balls, for sure. Tri-spinners. So the Amaryllis, man, it was my top for a long time. It's also my heaviest spinner for a long time. But I gotta say, the Moonlight, with these buttons, tungsten buttons that I made for it, this is now my number one tri-spinner. I will say, my Axis Micro Mini, that is no longer here, you may notice, that would still be my number one, and I'm still hunting one of those. But I gifted it to someone. Totally worth it. And I don't miss it that bad, to be honest. I've been carrying this thing a lot, so maybe it's okay. But I still want another one. The thing was just so small and easy to carry, like easy to EDC. Yeah. So I mean, that's one from every category. If I could only have one, for sure. So it's a loop back up. So row 2, things that I still EDC, and things that I would buy again if I lost it at full price in the same material. And I absolutely love it. It's just the Amaryllis, okay? It's just a little lightweight. And I love how these buttons look, but they don't have a deeper dish than this. And these buttons don't really work that well on the spinner. I don't like the feedback from the bearing as much. So this combination works, but it just knocks it down to row 2. I can still buy it again, but I do EDC that more. Okay, got another wrap tier. This is going to be its first, I guess, actual talking about on the channel. This is a version 1.1, so one of the older wraps. These are V2s. So notice this one has balls on the faces, on the plates, outside plates. And these roll, and I've got them set up to where they're just slightly loose right now. You can put a rubber dampener under them so they don't roll. And then it's got all medium magnets right now. It will be upgraded to hybrids. Those are in the mail right now. And I got it set up in a rattly configuration. And I just love this thing. I've always wanted a second wrap. Ever since I've got this one, I wanted just a little more basic one that I didn't have to baby quite as bad. This is gonna fill that void. And I like that it's different than one of the older ones and has the balls. The plates are still the same as far as the slide surface. Look how fresh these are comparatively. You can see all the milling patterns. I would encourage you to rewind real quick and go back to the beginning and look at this same kind of shot of the V2. These are gonna look like that eventually when I get there. But now that I've got 2, it's gonna spread out the load of sliding, so we'll just have to see, right? So I got this one set up in a crunchy configuration. There's no foam dampeners on top of the magnets. So we get all of these nice little crunches and noises, and like, sometimes I absolutely love the crunches and the rattles, but I gotta say, there's other times where I don't like it. Like I was overstimulating myself the other day, and so I actually had to put it down and start using Quiet Fidget. Because this thing, it's not that the volume is that loud, it's just that there's so much going on and so much noise. Sometimes it's just too much for the sensory system, for mine anyways. So I would buy it again. I think this is actually the second wrapped for me. I was thinking about maybe a grooved V2, which that could also be cool. But if I could just have 2, the V1.1, I'm really glad found its way into my life. I had a little fidget gathering for locals in Georgia, and this is one of the things that I was able to purchase during that. It was pretty cool. All right, would buy again at full price. I mean, yeah, I would buy the Top C Spark. I've already talked about it. I'm just gonna put it down and move on. Definitely buy it again at full price. I probably went in this one. Okay, the Valkyrie. Alphabot Industries. This is one of the OG spinners from like back in 2017, 18, 19, something like that. Guys, you could get this thing on Amazon for like $20, $30. The final run of these was even for $20. I mean, this is insane. So this is the Valkyrie Mark II. This is the smaller variant. There's got a retention system for the bearing, which is just incredible. I mean, for such a cheap spinner, you can just swap bearings in and out. You don't have to use glue or anything. I made a little wrench flat tool out of just a stamped steel wrench, so I can put it on those flats and screw it off, and man, put a full ceramic bearing in it. Sorry, not full ceramic. It has stainless steel balls, but ceramic races and a peak cage. At that fidget gathering, I could not put this thing down. I picked it up, like it was one of the first things I picked up, because I've seen, tons of pictures of these things. Like, it's an old spinner. I couldn't put it down. And I bought it for $30. I honestly probably would have paid 5 times that for this. I made these buttons for it, so ignore those. I mean, don't ignore them, but you know what I'm saying. That's not the buttons that come with it. They look more basic, something like those. This is actually the ones that came with this spinner whenever I purchased it. So I put these on here, a little deeper dish, and did some milling to, make the pattern. And man, the pattern's really cool. It actually makes this really comfortable. So the sound it makes, the speed it generates, how comfortable it is. Like, this curve right here is exactly where my finger falls whenever I just pull and launch. This is really close to a row 1 fidget. I'm not even kidding. I've been EDCing the crap out of this, and I can't imagine leaving the house without it. So it's the EDC is getting a little heavy right now with all this stuff that I'm enjoying, because everything you see in row 1 I'm carrying with me right now every day, and these two are also making it into my EDC. This I guess isn't right now, but I would still buy it again at full price. And this isn't in my EDC right now, but again, I would buy it at full price. Alright, we're still doing row 2 stuffs. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting a little organized since we're making our way down. So, the Bantam II EDC. This has tungsten circular weights, tungsten buttons, and then the central body is titanium. So, quite a density difference in materials and the parts of the spinner. I put the same bearing as this one. It's that Fushi from Amazon, full stainless steel. They're very quiet, have tight tolerances, they're really smooth, they're really fast. I had a bearing with more feedback in this thing before, but it titanium makes like here's a good example. This is a loud example. So you hear that like really high pitched kind of shrill sound? Titanium does it too. So the Acer Racing bearing that I had in here was producing it just a little bit. Like, the volume was low, but I still didn't like the tone. So I swapped in and out a couple, and I was like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna try this $1 bearing in this super awesome, like, nice spinner. And like, goddamn if it's not just awesome. The judder is minimized. It's really fast. Super, super enjoyable. So I'd probably buy the Bantam again at full price. Yeah, I would. Like, I don't find myself picking it up or carrying it a ton. And I don't know if you saw, I was in the middle of talking, but I got a little dirt there. That dirty thumb I was talking about a minute ago, so let's clean that up with some alcohol. My hands are so messed up from been in the shop a lot this week. Look at all these like cuts and stuff. It's just like how it goes when I'm out here. I'm excited. I'm working. Okay, the Flux. also from Spin Designs by Cami. This one's got tungsten balls, a brass body, copper buttons, and then I put some Makume plugs in these brass or tungsten balls because there was a little oopsies with one of them and it got a through hole. So I made another through hole and plugged them. This thing is so comfortable. There's so much mass spinning around. I mean, I absolutely love it, and I would buy a Flux again and again and again. So it's definitely a row 2, and it very well could turn into a row 1, replacing the fuse once I get the thicker buttons that allow for table spinning with the balls on. As you can see, it's a little, yeah. But man, I sure do love it. Buying again at full price. Buying again at full price. I mean, these are really close here. I love them both. I adore Jonas and I adore Scott. They're both great makers. Some of the OG makers. But man, I just don't find myself picking up either of these spinners very much anymore. Like the copper Finema thing, I like much more than the stainless. I'll give it that. It's heavier. I mean, it's good. It's really fast. But when I use it enough, this edge right here, it's not sharp, but it is an edge. Look at all these other spinners up here that are in my top. They don't have an edge that's round. This is round. Basically round with micro chamfers. Rounded. It's rounded, and then it's got big chamfers. So it's just broken up. Like, this chamfer right here is a bit of a shallow cut, so it ends up making that edge between my two fingernails just a little edgy. So it gets a little sore whenever you fidget as much as I do. So would I buy the Finema thing if I lost it? Man, I don't know if I would. Maybe at a discount or on trade. So we're row 3 in the Finema thing B2. Some of y'all are gonna not believe that, but it really is what it is. Stainless torque bar. It's been in my collection a while now. Actually, longer than just about any of these. Actually, definitely longer than any of these other spinners. Oh, except this one. This came just after. I really like it. I like it a lot more. I haven't spun these two back to back very much lately. I'm not gonna lie. I'd buy this again. What was it, like $120 or something? It's really good. Really good. The OG, can't go wrong with it. It's definitely comfier. You've got chamfer, gap, chamfer, good stone washing, less edges. These buttons are pretty sweet too. Just some low profile copper buttons I made. Okay, alright, let's get a little more organized for how I want to be organized, at least. Yeah, row 3. So the Cloud Trail from V11 EDC. Just did a video on this guy. You saw the plate scratching. Let's go ahead and address this. So I've been using this, I don't know, probably at least an hour, between an hour and 3 hours each day since I've gotten it. I've been carrying it a good bit in case I meet someone that wants to check out a fidget. You know, I'm never gonna give someone my wrap to be like, hey, try to slide the slider, and then they do something like that and shoot it off the table or onto the ground. It's okay for that to happen to this. I won't cry. So the plates do get a little stuck sometimes. I think that's just because they're flat and my hands are really sweaty. So when you get moisture, I mean, look at that, my hands are sweating right now. When you get moisture and salt and a flat surface, and I mean, that's gonna create some kind of suction, and then if it dries, the salt's gonna crystallize, and that's gonna be like a mild glue. So I really think that's what happens on some flat plates. Like, we're humans, we ooze things. So that needs to be taken into consideration on plate designs. So I don't know, I'm just ranting and rambling here. Cloud Trail really is really nice. Like, the magnets that are in this thing and how they're positioned and the tolerances of the magnet, like, pockets are so tight that this slider just feels so dialed. It almost doesn't feel like it has magnets. It feels like it has physical connection points. Like, does that make sense? Like, even the wrapped, like, this isn't a bad thing, but like, you see the off centering? Like, you can see the plate over here a little bit, and then if I give it a little squish, then it's off center a little bit over here. Like, there's a little bit of a wiggle in the inserts and the magnets and the tolerances and everything. And it helps the wrapped work really good. But this dang thing, the tolerances are so tight on the magnets, even beyond the magnet sliders that I've used in the past. It's really, really locked in when you're in square positions with it. It's really comfortable. It's really ergonomic. Fuck, would I actually buy this at full price if I lost it? No, because I have a wrapped, but man, it'd be really close to... It's seriously the best slider I've used that doesn't have stainless steel plates. It's the best zirconium, titanium, brass, bronze. I don't think there's any other slide materials. Oh yeah, Teflon. Any of that stuff. This one's... it's winning for me, for sure. Onward. Mackie CP5. This thing is gonna stay in my collection for a while. This is one of the few things that was a gift that I would actually, like, want to add again to my collection if I lost it. Maybe you would have to get it at a discount or on a trade or something, because, like, these are on the secondary market, so I don't think I'd pay anything excess of original retail pricing, and maybe not even retail pricing, because I got the 1 PAL. So I don't ever EDC this thing, and I do pick it up a little bit, so yep, we're row 3. I would need a discount or something. The Wii knife, it's like the S01 or something. Titanium spinner, OG. It's got a bigger bearing. It's like a 608 or something. Maybe not a 608, 604. I don't remember. 602. Something bigger than R188. I actually did try to sell this thing the other day. I put a $60 price tag on it, and no one bought it. That was higher than it sold for originally. I just wanted to see if anyone would buy it, because it's a pretty good spinner, and I do enjoy it. Don't EDC it, though I do pick it up. I mean, it's really comfy. It's got good chamfers. It's just so lightweight that it's not for me anymore. So, I mean, row 3, I'll tell you this. If you're watching the video and you see this and you're in the US, I'll sell you this one. I still got the packaging and everything, too. It's in really good shape. I anodized the buttons like this blurple color. I don't even think it has any drops or dings or anything on it. Like, it's... Hang on. Before I give you a price, I'm double checking. So the buttons show some signs of, like, table spins, being scooted around. So you can see a little bit of blue discoloration, or it's starting to turn silver on that flat tallest edge of the button. But it's not, like, scratched or damaged. Yeah. If you're watching it and you want to buy this, I'll ship it to you for $55. Just comment below, we'll get in touch with email, and you can have this super nice, cheap spinner. It's very lightweight, very fast. ATS Mini. This is a ring spinner made in Bowler M390 stainless steel. It's like a super high-end knife steel. I would buy this again in tungsten. That's just where my taste has evolved to. I used to think this was kind of heavy, but I didn't really have much spinner experience back then, so I'd get it in tungsten. It's a pretty cool spinner. It's unique, and I like being able to, let me do this now, actually. I don't even know why I have the buttons on here. I don't ever use them with the buttons. I usually use this thing as a ring spinner, if I pick it up and use it. It's one of those things that's usually just in the case. Give it a pick up when I'm on the couch, like watching TV or something, and play with it in the ways you're seeing here. I got a Kovu hair on my finger. Yeah. In tungsten. I've actually handled one in tungsten. Adam Sherry has one, and it's excellent. The PEI Top C. It's definitely cool and unique, and I carry it sometimes, but only in like the right circumstance, where if I'm not afraid to like, or if I'm gonna be somewhere where I would be afraid to drop one of these two. So that's how this finds its way into my EDC. I do pick it up every now and then, and would I buy it again at full price though? And probably not. I just like metal. I think that's as simple as that is. I just like metal. Billet Spin Gambit. This one's in zirconium. It's got the concave, or convex body. Sorry, not concave. And it's pretty cool. I would buy it again to support Rich. If I lost it though, would I buy it right away? No. I don't use it ever, really. And yeah, the Makume B-hole. I don't EDC it. It's kind of loud. And I wouldn't buy it at full price, so it's a row 3 too. Row 4, I guess we'll put this down here, right? Because that's what we were saying. If you want to buy it, 55. And the Mini Mame. If you have weaker hands, the Mini Mame. Oh wait, this isn't supposed to be on video. Oh my god. What do I do about that? We're just gonna put this out of the way. Pretend like you didn't see that. This could be my one spinner to like absolutely just rule them all. But the past 2 days, I run into a wall where I run out of physical strength and stamina to put enough power into it to enjoy using it. Like, with a slow spin, it's just not fun enough. I mean, no spinner is. You got to be able to rip it. And I have, in longer sessions, gotten tired using the edamame. Makes me sad, but man, it's so good. And I would pay stupid money for it. I would even make a scepter for one of these right now. Or top. Or buttons. Something. I'm gonna put that out there, actually. It's just a marvelous, marvelous creation. It's so heavy. The sound of this ceramic bearing, the copper buttons. I can't get enough. Even when I'm tired, I still keep trying to use it. And then I'm just like, I gotta switch to something lighter. And that's usually when I go to this, or this, currently. Yeah. So I don't know where to put this. I mean, this would be like, I would buy it again at full price. I guess it wouldn't be the one to rule them all because I can't use it all day, every day. I get tired. So that's, I think that's where we're at. That's a pretty short one. I guess I didn't have all the other fidgets out here, right? Like, I didn't have the 01 like pods and the brass top C. That would be a row 3. I would like to buy it in another material. Would not buy brass again. There's my wife's CP3 Nano. That was a gift, but get it again at a discount or something. It's a good little fidget. The 42 Cosmo XXS, we would not buy that again at full price. Way too expensive and overpriced. That was a very early fidget purchase. 42 Cosmo stuff's interesting. Yeah, and then the other gifted stuff, we're not even gonna get there. So, yeah, I mean, here's the collection. Yeah, this is stuff that I really, really love. I put this up here, but this is really like, I wouldn't buy this again. What am I doing? It goes down here. Would buy again at full price. Would buy again at full price. All of these. Would buy again at triple the price. 5 times the price even. Pretty wild. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna check out, pack up, and enjoy my Sunday. See ya.